What's going on is Anton from antondaniels.com. I appreciate you guys continuing to rock with me. Got to go and take care of some business out of town. I was talking to a really good friend of mine that I went to high school with that's doing really well in life. And I remember when we were coming up, we both kind of went through it in 2008 because he was doing really well in 2008 and I was doing really well prior to 2008. And we were both heavily affected by the housing market crash, right? And we kind of made a pact with each other, and we still stay in touch. I still stay in touch with a lot of my friends from high school, and I have friends from kindergarten that's doing really well. And everybody don't need me, anybody don't need a shout out. When we all come together, we just all connect and all of that. And you know, there's some people that I know, mentors, people that's my age, that's doing incredibly well. What am I getting at here? What I'm trying to have a conversation with you guys about is when I see certain people in my comments, and I just so happen to be the person that's the most visible in my group or the most visible from my class in high school and stuff like that. But when I see people in my comments or I see people in the live chat a lot of times and they have a duress mindset, or they say, you know, you can't be that rich or anything like that, forget me, take me out of the picture. Or when I use myself as an example on After Hours, and I'm trying to emphasize a point by using my own personal life experiences, because people pick and choose when they want you to use your own personal life experiences. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll say, hey, don't speak to the general, what's your personal experience? When it's convenient, or when they're trying to have a conversation that then substantiates their argument. Or they'll say, no, use the general public or a general idea, or speak to the majority when you're trying to make a point in particular, right? So what I'm trying to tell you guys, and why I'm using this example, and every last one of these people are in Detroit. And then I know some people that's in Atlanta, and I know some people that's in LA, and I know some people that's in New York, and I know some people down in Florida, and Tampa, and Miami. There's a lot of rich people. Let me be even more direct. There are a lot of rich black people. A lot of us. Did you know? And I don't know how true this is, but I looked it up. And I've been using this stat for a while now, and it's actually increased, even with the layoffs, that there are over 1,700 new millionaires every single day. Now, a millionaire is not a monolith. And what do I mean by saying that a millionaire is not a monolith? I'm basically telling you that there are millionaires that are basically millionaires based off of the net worth of their homes. There are millionaires with a combined net worth based off of their 401k and their home, and then there's a lot of people that generate a lot of revenue. I'm telling you that I know a lot of people that generate a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot of revenue. And I need y'all to really understand that when you unlock your mind and start thinking differently about wealth and what the possibilities are, you'll start moving differently. You'll start asking questions. You'll start having conversations with people that may be above you. You'll start seeking mentorship. You'll start to segment out your time a little bit differently, and that you won't look at time as far as how much you can keep in, but you'll be spending more time trying to make sure that you add people of value around you so that you can spend time generating more revenue, right? When I think about hiring now, it's much different than I thought about hiring when I first opened my first restaurant. And that's why I like to document the process, because documenting the process allows for me to see how far I've come and how far I have to go based off of some of the people that I'm around or some people that inspire me, right? When I first, built my first restaurant, I had to be everywhere all the time. I looked at the revenue that I was generating, even though I knew a lot of lessons from some of the businesses that I've created in the past or in corporate America. It was every dollar had to be accounted for, and I have to make sure that nobody is stealing from me and all of this stuff. And then when I started changing my mindset, I realized I don't have to be at the restaurant every single day, or I can put somebody in place that allows for me to figure out how I can generate more revenue for the restaurant. And so I have to change my mindset. So now, I even approach certain businesses. I am a silent partner in some of these other restaurants that's doing really well based off of the fact that I realize that I don't have to have my hands in everything, but I could lend my expertise, or I can lend my marketing, or I can lend some other stuff that allows for me to add value, or maybe I'm just the money. But my point is that you have to, and I know that this is gonna fly over some people's heads, you have to absolutely, positively change your mindset when it comes to money. Oh, money isn't everything. Bullshit. Tell that to the person that's being laid off. Oh, Anton, money isn't you can't die with it. Bullshit. I can pass it on to my daughter. I don't know what you talking about, bro. And it don't mean that you gotta worship it, but what it does mean is that we need to think about it differently, because so many people live their whole lives under a duress mindset, and they think that everybody is broke. Everybody not broke. It's a whole lot of rich people out here. And just because you don't know them, or just because you think that there's a profile that applies to them, rich people are not a monolith, and there's a lot of rich black people. A lot. They got big money, and they not athletes. Not all of them. I know some athletes too. They not athletes. Some of them is hedge fund managers. Some people are in finance. Some people are engineers. Some people are... I know a guy that was a surgeon. That's a neurosurgeon. And I met him at a basketball game, and he didn't even have front row seats. He didn't even have courtside seats. He had some floor seats, but they was like under the basket, row 3 or whatever, and he wasn't trying to be as visible only because of his job. But if you go and you lived and see what his life was like, and we had a conversation about student loans, and he was saying that he had a student loan balance that was in the upper hundreds of thousands of dollars, and he was able to pay it off in 1 year once he started his practice. Yo, it's some people that's really, really getting it. And they don't want to make themselves as visible to you, because they know that's where the hate is. They see it in my comments. They see it in other people's comments. When people try to teach you the game, and the reason why you got to put a barrier to entry when you start having conversations about how you can level up or how you can be successful or whatever, is because you'll have somebody with no profile photo, or somebody with an avatar profile photo, or a Silver Surfer profile photo. I seen that in my comments the other day. And they sitting there telling you what you ain't and all of this. Meanwhile, you know what you are. As a matter of fact, you may be even downplaying some of what you are. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. I'm telling you, there is a lot of bread to be made. And in my personal opinion, I plan on getting a lot of it. Absolutely. When you see the markets, when you see layoffs, when you see real estate starting to go down, the Dow was up 200 points, I think, today. But over the last couple of weeks, they were saying, oh, it was lagging. They look at that as a buying opportunity. They don't look at that as a problem. They're not day trading. They're not doing all of that crap. They actually running it up. They don't even think about money in the same way that you think about money. And so you got to get around people that then look at wealth a little bit differently. You do. You really do. You got to get around people that have a different mindset when it comes to networking. They don't look at networking the same way that you do. You look at networking as going to a networking event. You know who at networking events a lot of times? A lot of people looking for jobs. Networking to them is the everyday experiences that they go to. Is when they go to certain gyms, they'll spend the extra money. They'll spend. You wouldn't believe the amount of people that I met sitting in the front of the plane that I still maintain relationships with today. That who knows, maybe I will do business with them one day, maybe I won't. But I got the relationship and I nurture that relationship. They know how to maintain their contacts. They absolutely live by a calendar. Time is money to them, so they don't just want to shoot the shit. They're not just about to be out here just doing some random things. It's very intentional in the things that they do on a daily basis. People that they surround themselves by, the books that they read, the content that they take in, their algorithm is completely different from yours. It's a real thing in real life. I wish I could show you, fam. I really do. Because me just showing you on the bag chases and the Patreon, make sure you tap into the Patreon, link is in the description. I recently did a video of how much money I generated last year. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Don't even care about cash. The only thing that we care about now is getting rid of the money in order to reduce our tax burden. We pay attention to politics because we want to know where the money is going. We want to know where the market is going. We pay attention to what's going on in legislation because we want to know what the budget is. We want to know what the proposals are. We want to know where we can spend some money so that we can generate more revenue and we can live the lifestyle that we want to live. Don't you want that? Don't you want that for your children? Listen, it's people that don't fill out FAFSAs. They don't fill out FAFSAs. I filled out a FAFSA when I was coming up, but I did it and I grind and I'm so dedicated. My daughter won't fill out a FAFSA. Maybe she'll get a scholarship or something like that, but she'll never need to do some of the things that other people do. And that's not a brag. That's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Don't you want your kids to have a better life than you? Anyways, just a little bit of motivation. Hopefully a reality check. Now, I can't wait to start my new channel to let y'all in on some of my life and get back to vlogging, a daily vlog on the new channel. So the camera's coming when I land back in Detroit to go and get back into the studio next week. But I love you guys. I appreciate you. Hopefully you see it as motivation. I'm gonna holler at you later. Peace.